Press Review now. Diptyka Laurent is here to take a look through the main stories in the world's press. Hi, Diptyka. So lots of reactions after the International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants for Benjamin Netanyahu and his former defense minister.
Yeah, that's right. Benjamin Netanyahu, Yoav Gallant, the former Israeli defense minister, and Hamas military chief Mohammed Deif have warrants issued for their arrests for crimes against humanity and war crimes. It's on the front page of the conservative Israeli daily, the Jerusalem Post today. The editors of the paper lambasting this decision as, quote, hypocritical and distorted, while admitting that only a, quote, drastic change now can prevent Israel from becoming a pariah state on the international stage. Let's take a look at Haaretz, the center-left Israeli daily, and generally a paper critical of Netanyahu. It says the decision will complicate ceasefire negotiations. A major consequence for Netanyahu will be not being able to travel to countries, including France, which will be under pressure to respect the arrest warrant. On the other hand, the U.S. is not a signatory of the International Criminal Court. Haaretz noting that Netanyahu and his government will be hoping that Donald Trump will enable Israel to continue, if not intensify, the very actions that the ICC have constituted as crimes against humanity and war crimes.
So that's the Israeli press. Tell us what reaction has been like from the Arab language press.
Well, this is from Al-Quds Al-Arabi. This is the front page here. A big wanted sign on the face of Netanyahu and Gallant. They're wanted men with the first consequence of paper saying Netanyahu will be forced to cancel a planned visit to the Netherlands, home of the ICC, which is also will be under pressure to fulfill its obligations as a signatory of the ICC. The arrest warrant is quite unprecedented. That's what Al-Akhbar, a Lebanese paper close to Hezbollah, says in this article, calling it an unprecedented move by the International Criminal Court. And let's just shed a spotlight on the ICC chief prosecutor. His name is Karim Khan, an Edinburgh-born prosecutor who has been accused by Netanyahu supporters of leading a one-man campaign against Netanyahu. The Israeli leader, for his part, has accused the ICC of anti-Semitism. The Times explaining that Khan has in the past represented high-profile alleged offenders like former Libyan dictator Gaddafi, but also former Liberian President Charles Taylor. Khan himself was also the focus of sexual misconduct allegations in his office, which he denies and which his supporters say is an attempt to discredit him.
We're moving on now. The deaths of 5 tourists from methanol poisoning in Laos has put a spotlight on bootleg alcohol there. Absolutely, and it's garnering a lot of attention in the press today. We can show you the Daily Telegraph here, this front page picture of the latest victim of this alleged alcohol poisoning. 5 tourists, 2 Danes, an Australian, a British citizen, and a U.S. citizen are believed to have died from methanol poisoning. Several others are in hospital in the region after falling severely ill. This is the latest victim, a British lawyer who is believed to have been a victim of mass spiking in Vang Vieng. The Guardian, the Australian version of The Guardian, is focusing on the Australian victim, a teenager, actually, Bianca Jones, who died in hospital after a similar poisoning incident. Her best friend is still in a hospital in a very serious condition. And The Guardian explains in this article today that this suspected methanol poisoning, these deaths have really shed a light on tainted drinks. Now, methanol is a toxic chemical often found in household and industrial products. It is sometimes added to drinks as a cheaper alternative to ethanol, which is what you regularly find in alcohol. The problem is, while ethanol is not toxic to humans, methanol is very much toxic to humans, and it gradually causes organ failure, and if not treated quickly, it can lead to death. In Southeast Asia, cultural norms are such that they brew bootleg liquor from things like rice and sugarcane that are often then mixed in with methanol
the region, according to Médecins Sans Frontières, has the highest rates of methanol poisoning.
Yeah, an incredibly sad story there. Let's shift gears. Finally, from you, Diptika, a new study sheds light on human laughter.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, the English language is actually quite rich with words for laughter, to laugh. You have chortle and chuckle and guffaw and snigger and giggle, howl. A new study by a researcher at the Free University of Amsterdam has conducted the study into human laughter. The findings have just been published in a science journal called Biology Letters. Now, it started with finding hundreds of YouTube videos that featured spontaneous laughter. The researcher and the team then fed this information through a machine learning algorithm for analysis, and then they did it a second time with human observers. And in both cases, they found about 60% correctly identified laughter provoked by tickling. All other laughter, though, was difficult to discern. Now, it turns out that we do really have two types of laughter: a laughter for when we are being physically tickled, and one for when you find something really, really funny. It's actually really important in terms of evolution, because laughter from tickling is also commonplace with other mammals like primates and dogs. Our laughter is believed to then have evolved as our brain got more complex and more open to more complex forms of laughter.
It's an incredibly interesting story. Diptika, thank you so much for that. That's Diptika Laurent with a look at the press around the world.